All right, we are starting the hike, and you guys have listened to Tony on many occasions how he'll tell you in the herbology class especially that there are a lot of plants that we walk by on a day-to-day basis in our given areas that we could use and take into our own homes. And my friend Jasper here, aka Old World Nomad, has some facts about a particular plant that we may see on our hike today. Can you tell us a little bit about that plant?
Yes, so today we'll be talking about evening primrose. It's a relatively common plant in the southern states of the United States. Has been recently cultivated in California, where we're hiking now. And for many, many years, the oil extract from this plant has been used to relieve many symptoms of ailments such as PMS, eczema, skin irritations, and some other things as well, which are slightly less backed up by fact. But I often see it on my walks just in unmaintained scrubland. So there's a good chance that we might see some while walking today.
100%.
Could be.
So there's a numerous of flowers that we're running into. Tell us a little bit about this one.
This one here is a favorite of mine for ornamental and spiritual uses. This is a Fragmantia, what looks to be arborea variety. Now this species is actually extinct in the wild. It's cultivated widely though in subtropical and tropical climates, mainly for its very nice smelling flowers in the evenings. Tends to attract a very specific species of moth as its pollinator, which could be one of the reasons why it's no longer available in the wild. But it's a very, very toxic plant and has many shamanic and spiritual uses as well, in South America especially. But it's definitely one of my favorites, just in the way it looks. It's very interesting.
100%.
Another name for it is, these ones are devil's trumpets, as opposed to the angel's trumpets, which we may see while walking the Dachira species. They are of the same genus and family though, but different species. Very interesting plant though.
100%.
Good stuff, man.
Tell us a little bit about this plant.
This plant is one I just found out about while we've been walking this morning. This is flowering gum, and it's endemic to a region of southwest Australia from what I hear. It seems to be a very interesting looking tree with a thick bark. Supposedly the gum can be used for spiritual enhancements and kind of affirming your spirituality. Which seems very interesting. I have to do a little bit more research on this one, but we've already seen a few of them on the walk this morning. It's a very interesting tree though, that's for sure.
100%. 100%.
Definitely looks like a kind of outback Australian tree.
So we are at the start of the trail.
Down in
Bram Park.
There's a lovely park to be on any kind of day.
Yep.
Nice large green space. There's a library up here. And also a Japanese garden and tea house.
Yep.
Very nice place to be.
Very nice area. And just a sidebar, we have some facts about sprinklers
and irrigation.
And
now this type of grass that we have so much in the United States of America, this sawgrass here, is very difficult to grow. And it was designed like that to be something for only the wealthy people back in the colonial times. But these days, everyone must have it, just because of our societal standards. So right here we have huge sprinklers, spraying directly into tree bark and using huge amounts of water on a morning just to keep this grass green, which it's not doing a great job at by the looks of it. And these sprinklers in the United States use 9 billion gallons of water every day just to water this grass because of an old-fashioned trend from back in the day. And I imagine this water could probably go to a lot better uses than just keeping pretty grass green, and not even to mention the fact this grass is awful for biodiversity and habitats, and not a great thing. Look at this.
All right, we're gonna head up to the trail now.
Let's get on it. Let's get on.
And this is the start of the trail that we will be embarking on today. Very interesting. And it is called Miss American Green Cross. All right, here we go. All right, so before we even started the trail, we ran into this white sage. Smells absolutely amazing.
It's a classic spiritual plant burned by many native communities, especially down here in the Southwest. Really great smelling plant.
100%. You'd be surprised when you go out into nature, the things that you'll find if you have your eyes looking for that stuff and go into the hike with intent. You'll run into a lot of amazing things. Absolutely.
So this is tree tobacco. It's very toxic, but it's used traditionally by Native American groups to treat certain ailments of the skin. Can be fatal to ingest it though, so we recommend not doing that.
Yes, sir. All right, and we are pretty deep into the trail now. How many miles do you think we got so far? Old World Nomad?
Well, we're about 9 kilometers in, so I'd call that about 6.5 miles off
Yes.
the top of my head.
Yes, and
Making
the
good headway.
100%. And the next topic of discussion, we're gonna talk about oxygen and how we used to be bigger and things of that nature, and plants used to be bigger, all that type of stuff. Give us some context.
So we were discussing last time when we were on this hike about dinosaurs in particular, and how animals and insects back in the ancient times, millions and millions of years ago, were huge. And we mainly discussed that this was quite likely because of how many trees there were, and as a result, how much oxygen there was in the air, which allowed these creatures to grow bigger and make better use of the oxygen in the environment. And then we spoke about how as us humans came along, we started to cut down trees and burn trees and start the Industrial Revolution, which in turn led to less oxygen in the air, and thus people as a whole have been getting larger, but creatures on this earth have been getting smaller and smaller. And through this discussion, we came to a realization that as oxygen levels continue to decrease, it's probably a good chance that humans will become weaker, or most humans will become weaker, and maybe we'll slow down our conquest of this earth quite so much, in turn allowing trees to grow far quicker. And like we can see here, there's a lot of vegetation this year because of all the CO2 in the air. And because of that, things will balance out. And as such, we said it's just another great example of things in nature coming back to an equilibrium and balance as soon as we stop messing with them.
100%. Cool, cool.
Good stuff.
Got an interesting young fella here. Very poised. Looks like he's kind of like a little gecko from the commercial.
Yeah, the gecko.
Oh, there he goes. And we're starting to encounter these pine trees.
Right. And these pine trees used to cover all of the Los Angeles National Forest mountains around here. We're in the Verdugo Hills right now, and the San Gabriel Mountains are in the distance there. All used to be covered in these pine trees, but I guess due to human action in the LA basin, a lot of them have burned down. You can kind of see some of the burnt carcasses. There's one down there. Some of these burned out pine trees from the last wildfire we had. But in time, all these trees will return. Be a forest one day again.
Yes, indeed. And the journey continues. California holly.
Yes.
Toy young.
Smells very strongly of testosterone.
Very strong testosterone smell. I called Tony about this, and he kind of thought I was joking. He didn't know what my intention was behind telling him, but whenever we go on these hikes, we run across this plant here, and it has a very, very strong testosterone smell. It's almost as if you're in a gym with young Arnold and Tom Platz and all these guys in their prime.
Supposedly make a tea out of the leaves as well as a stomach upset remedy.
Nice. Yeah, if you guys ever come across a type of testosterone smell, it's most likely this toy young. All right, cool. And we are rolling.
So right here we have a very sacred plant of the southwestern United States and Central America. This is Datura. I believe this is Datura wrightii or a stratumonium. This is a good flower up here for you to get a nice look at for the viewers. Very, very, very important plants in this part of the nation's history. Exceptionally toxic, and they contain 3 alkaloids which are known to cause delirium and hallucinations, so they've been used ritualistically for many thousands of years by shamanic people. They bloom at nighttime, and their pollinators are moths and butterflies. Very, very interesting plants, and one that's always fascinated me very much just because of how deadly they are.
They do look beautiful as well.
They do.
Alrighty. Cool. The journey shall continue. Cool.
So these flowers we have up here, these purple flowers, are Ipomea violacea, purple morning glory, and they are well known for their kind of vine-like status and beautiful colors. It's great to see so many of them growing all the way down this side of the road here.
And what do you call these flowers?
Morning glories.
Morning glory.
Very
Absolutely
nice.
beautiful.
Very beautiful.
And off we go. Off we go again.
And that's what the whole life process is. To learn as a soul what it is to be low to the lowest denominator, third dimension, and yet as a soul having the faith to prove again you're worthy of going back to the universal creative mind, being a co-creator, a co-creator, and a universal creator. So it's simply a meaning now that we're coming back into consciousness. We're beginning to concentrate that thought. And believe me, people didn't do rain dances and fire dances. They didn't pray for seeds to sprout unless it worked. And at one time when our planet was low in vibration, but the heavens of Earth were high in vibration, and you appealed to those in the heavens, they produced on the Earth what you wanted. Now we're supposed to be possessors of enough knowledge to do it for self. That's why now you must pray to yourself through the universal mind is with you.
So we had a pretty long day, and we tallied up around how many miles?
About 15 miles.
15 miles is about like 24 kilometers.
Yeah, about that.
All right. And how would you say that you feel right now?
I feel great. It's wonderful to be out in the sun, getting fresh air, away from the city air. It's great to be out in the mountains. So
100%.
I recommend it to anyone.
100%. Likewise, I feel the same. And one thing that you'll notice on these trails, as you start to get dehydrated, as you start to get more hungry, would you agree that food tends to taste a lot more?
A lot better.
A lot better.
A lot better. Even the smallest thing, a single cookie.
Cookie. Yeah.
Will be just tastes amazing.
100%. 100%. Trail mix, the whole shabazz, the whole shebang. And right now we're getting ready to chef up some
good old pasta.
Some good old pasta, mushroom, lentils, and just make sure when you go on these hikes you stay dehydrated. You got all your essentials. We had brought some aloe vera with us.
It's great hydration.
And
great hydration. And
even after. So we'll keep you posted. This is Old World Nomad, aka Greenie, and
Sky's the limit,
Sky's the limit, Skyla. That's the hiking name. All right, cool.
So think of your body as a flowing river, and as it's flowing through the different canals, flowing through the different countries, all throughout your internal space, garbage is being thrown in it all the time. This is what you're excreting out. For those of you in the audience who may be marijuana, the devil's lettuce connoisseurs, you know, especially if you're working a job that did tests, you had to sometimes go a period of time just drinking water and so on and so forth and not consuming your herb. Why? Because it will come up in the test. Because you're excreting it. And when does it stop coming up in the test? When you have excreted it completely. So that could actually be called detoxing, right? So nevertheless, you necessarily do not need anything to detox because your body is always doing it. What you're taking herbs for or taking some type of supplement for is to help to either increase or to emphasize the excretion process. Do you understand? So when you take a herb or a supplement, you're taking it to help increase the excretion process. So more is being excreted into the internal river within you, which would again come out in your urine, your defecation, or even your sweat. Okay.